Surprise, surprise. Oh my gosh, can we believe it? She's vlogging from the car again. Like, I do this all the time. I'm telling you guys, I literally live in the car. Okay, I don't. Let me not even speak that into existence. But I don't live in the car, okay? But I feel like I'm always in the car. Anyway, hey guys, welcome to the channel. So yeah, a few things. First of all, I finally found my camera. Well, I already knew where it was, but last time I tried to use it, it wasn't turning on. I guess the battery I had wasn't working. I ended up finding another battery. That battery clearly works because the camera works now. So I'm going to start probably recording on that, maybe. I don't know. I'm gonna test out the quality and see like which one I like better, if I like on my phone better or on my camera, because I'm running out of space on here. I record for this channel and on my family channel, so I'm running out of space on this phone, and I get confused with like all the different clips, and then I do like short form content too, so it's just like a whole bunch of clips on my phone. I gotta go through, and sometimes when I'm editing, I forget clips to add, and it's just a whole mess. So I need like two separate things. Number two, I finally joined Kyra's book club again. I was in it from like September, October, November, maybe even December of 2024, and then I stopped because financial reasons. Basically, I was just going through some financial things, and I had to cut back on a lot of expenses. Started doing DoorDash, things like that, and now we're on the rise again. Clap it up for me and my family. First of all, love the book club. Love Kyra, love her videos. Been following her and her family for literally so long, because I used to have a couples channel where we were doing like pranks and all the challenges, all the stuff that, you know, couples are doing back in 2016, 2017. I was like the D-lister. Like, you know, like there's like those A-listers that like everyone knows. I was like probably like a D-lister, but that's okay, because you know, it was fun while it lasted. Anyway, I'm going on a tangent. The direction I was trying to go in is that we're buddy reading this book. I'm not sure if, I think it's this book. I have to check the stutter. Relax, calm down, talk slower. I have to check the dates, but I'm pretty sure everyone is still on book one, and then we're gonna watch the movie this weekend. I thought it was really cool that I just joined back and came to find out that they're reading the Hunger Games, and I just bought this book like a week or two ago. I feel like it was just like meant to be. So anyway, don't know if I should start on this or if I should just finish the naturals and then start this after. I feel like I should finish the naturals. I only have this much left. When I tell y'all, this book just got so good right before it gets to part 4, like the roller coaster of emotions that I just went through of being like, hold on. I knew who it was. I knew it. Like the past few chapters, it was just pointing to this person. No throwing, please. Oh yeah, please keep him in the chair. That's right.
Me too. Mama.
What?
Oh. Mama got hair.
You got chalk on your hand? That's okay. It's just chalk. It'll wash off. The book club that I'm in is starting a reading sprint for an hour. I made the ambitious goal of getting, what is it, like 65, 70 pages in an hour. I can do if I'm fully focused and reading fast. So I turned on my little ambiance. I got on a cozy read with me with rain sounds and everything, and hopefully I'll be able to fully tune in and just read this book, because I joined the reading sprint last night and one that was earlier today, and I did not reach my goals for either of them. The last night I didn't reach my goal because I ended up watching Netflix with my husband, and then today I didn't reach the goal because my kids, I was at home and my kids were, you know, just needing everything. They just happened to need everything while I was reading, and so I'm in the car, I'm alone, I'm just chilling. This is my getaway time, so I'm going to sit in here and fully focus on reading, and I'm not gonna waste any more time. Can't even be mad, y'all. Okay, so my initial goal was page, hang on, let me pause this. My initial goal was page 102 because that will be the end of chapter 7, and I made it to page 97, so I'm not even mad at that. I literally had this much left to reach my goal. But all right, I finished the naturals. So I'm going to put it on my red shelf, which y'all can't even see, down here. I try to keep everything together based on like genre, and since this is like mystery fiction, I'm just gonna go with general like fiction, I guess, because I don't want to put it with the thrillers, but I also don't want to put it with romance, so we're just gonna go general fiction right here. So that's done. I gave it like a 3.75 star because like it was cool, but it was, you know, it wasn't the best thing I read, but it was entertaining enough, and it was very fast-paced, very quick read, which I feel like all YA books are. And she's ready to go outside, so I'm about to go read some more of the Hunger Games. I'm like, I don't know, what would that be, like 25% of the way in? And then we're gonna watch the movie. I know how it ends, but I want to read the book. It's different to like get their like thoughts, because that's the thing, the like between books and movies, I like books because you get to like know their like internal monologue and what they're thinking about and why they do the stuff they do, versus when you watch a movie, it's like, why the heck she do that?
Well, sound like you don't watch good movies and they explain why they do what they do.
No, but you don't hear their thoughts. Like, say like, this is future me editing this video, and I actually want to record this really fast because the example that I gave to my husband about the like whole internal monologue and how books are different than movies wasn't really a great example. So I'm just gonna make a new one right now. This might be a bit of a spoiler. I feel like everyone has seen Hunger Games by now, but in the movies, when she kisses Peeta, it's very much like, I don't know if this was their intention or not, but it just seems willing, like she actually likes him and things like that. But in the books, it's more like, oh, I'm just doing this because I know that the Capitol's watching. I'm doing this because President Snow. I'm doing this for, like, you know, she has reasons. And so getting that internal monologue and actually understanding why she's doing certain things, I don't know, it just makes the books more obviously descriptive, right? Like, I feel like I don't have to explain this. Y'all know. You know what I'm saying? Like, they can go into depth on why they do the things they do. Okay. Do it again. Do it again.
Do what?
Do it again.
Do what?
See? I know you. Goodbye.
Right there. Ah! Ah! I popped on her hair.
It's a new month, so you guys know what that means. We have to do a reading wrap up for the previous month. Here are all the books I read in the month of April. Well, really I read more because I did some on Kindle, but we'll get into that. So I'm just gonna go in the order in which I read them. So first off, I started the month with Ruthless Vows, which I love this duology. I did give Ruthless Vows a 4-star. Definitely a very good like romantic-y book. I'm still dipping my toes into the whole like fantasy genre, but this book and series is just everything to me. It is a great story, so I would recommend it. This was book 2 in a series. The first book is called Divine Rivals, if you want to check it out. It's honestly kind of hard to explain without giving too many spoilers. And then I did a reread of The Perfect Marriage by Geneva Rose. I read this book back when I first started reading again in my adulthood, 2023. And so I wanted to reread it to see if I still actually liked the book, or if it was just like, oh, I had nothing to compare it to because it was my first time reading as an adult. And so after rereading it, I can say that I do still like the book. I gave it a 4-star on my reread. It's like a mystery thriller book about a woman who finds out her husband is having an affair, and the mistress ends up, and she now has to defend her husband in the court of law. I who have never known when. This is a really short book. I actually read it on my Kindle, but then I had to go and buy the physical copybook, so I haven't even cracked this open yet because I just love this book so much. I wanted to go buy it. I feel like the reviews on this book are very like 50-50 because one thing about this book is you're not going to get any answers. You're going to be so confused on why things are the way they are, how this happened, why this happened, what's going on. And you're not going to get the answers for those. Basically, there are a group of 40 women, 39 are adults, and 1 is a child, a younger girl. We don't really know exactly her age, but she's basically been in this underground bunker with these other 39 women for her whole life. She doesn't remember the outside world, and we're kind of just following along as they end up finding a way to escape, and they're kind of just traveling on the outside. And you know, we're kind of following her because she's never seen the sun. She's never really seen a man or heard a man talk. She doesn't really understand what it means to be a woman, have a period, be in a relationship, have like this sort of societal standard, I guess. I don't know. It's just really interesting to follow along and like see her morals and how she views, I guess, humanity after being so isolated and controlled. My dog is just doing the most right now. Anyway, it's just a really good book. I can't even put into words really what goes on in this book, but I would suggest it. I rated it 4.5 stars. The only thing that's going to irritate you is the fact that you don't get answers as to why they were in the bunker, how exactly they escaped, who put them there. Like, you don't really get any answers to that, but it's still a really good and beautiful story. And then I read The Midnight Library, also on my Kindle, and I think I did the audiobook with this as well. I think I gave this 3.5 star. I would recommend it overall. It's not life-changing, but it's still an entertaining and good book. It is basically about a woman who decides she doesn't want to be here anymore. She doesn't want to be alive, and she ends up going to this place in like I don't want to say the afterlife. It's like a halfway transition to, okay. She basically ends up in like this library where all the books in this library, this never-ending library, are lives that she could have lived, choices she could have made. She's kind of picking out different books and like seeing how her life could have been if she made this choice or this choice, because she feels like there could have been something better, or there was something missing from her life. She should have made a better choice here or there. There is a like story and message in there in the book that made it a little bit better, but the book does kind of get a little bit repetitive. And then I read Then She Was Gone, and this book took me so long to read. It's been on my shelf for so long. It is so dusty. I was supposed to read this like almost a year ago, maybe not quite a year ago, maybe like 6 months ago. And I read like the first few chapters and put it down because it was so boring to me. And then I ended up making a TBR jar recently, and I ended up pulling this book first in my TBR jar. And so I forced myself to read it. Okay, this is gonna sound crazy, but this book starts off slow and it is very predictable, but it doesn't take away from the story, in my opinion. I still really enjoyed the book. I don't know if I was just going through a time of like, all books are great, because this month there's a lot of 4 stars. Something about this book was just very entertaining and captivating. And then I listened to the audiobook of The House of My Mother. I don't rate memoirs, biographies, any type of fiction books or nonfiction books. Yeah, I get those confused. I don't rate nonfiction books. It's about the Frankies, the daughter of Ruby Frank. The YouTubers, the family YouTubers. If you don't know about that story, they also have a Netflix documentary on it, which I watched like episode 1, but the book gives you all the details about that whole story if you just want to read the book. Moving on, the next book that I read was The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. This was the second book that I pulled from my TBR jar. again, did not want to read this book. I tried to read it before, put it down, and my TBR jar said, nope, pick it back up. So we ended up reading this book, and it was actually not as bad as I was thinking when I first read it. I don't know why I didn't give it a chance. Some of it definitely caught me off guard. I didn't know what I was expecting going into the book, but it wasn't this. It wasn't anything life-changing. It's like a 3.5, 3.75 star. You're kind of just following along a like movie star, pop star, who once was like at the top of her game, and she's kind of going through all the husbands that she had, why she got with them, the story of being with them, how her relationship was, just things like that. So yeah, it's kind of in like an interview style, but also not. Next book I read was A Court of Mist and Fury. This is book 2 in the ACOTAR series. I gave this one like a 3.75. I didn't really care for the first book as much. Second book was better than the first. Now I'm currently reading the third book, and I think I'm going to DNF the rest of the series because I don't know, I'm just not a fan of ACOTAR. I feel like the books are kind of dragging out. I don't like the FMC. It's just very much So if you want to read this book, it's kind of to each their own. Why is my hair curling up? I can't say I recommend this book, but it is very popular, so I can say maybe. But I don't have anything else to add on that. The next book I read was As Good as Dead. This is book 3 in a trilogy series, whatever you want to call it. And you're following along Pip. My dog will not let me be great. If you're not familiar with the Good Girls Got to Murder series, it is basically about a girl who is kind of investigating. She is not like a police or detective or anything. She's just a high schooler who wants to investigate a case that happened long ago. This is book 1 I'm talking about. She kind of feels like the person who was accused for this disappearance happening was wrongly accused, and so she's kind of like figuring out, uncovering all these secrets and things. So that's book 1. Book 2 was about another disappearance that was happening, and it ends up being like podcast style. And so book 2 is really good because especially if you do it as an audiobook and you tandem read, the audiobook sounds like an actual podcast, so it makes it more like fun. Book 3 is about her trying to figure out her own mystery. Someone is after her and she has to figure out who, why. And then I don't want to spoil anything, but the second half of the book, it's really good. That's what I'm gonna say. I would recommend this book, and I give it a 4 star. The Naturals, this is a series, but this is the first book in the series. And this is basically about a group of teenagers who get, I guess, recruited by the FBI because they have these like special abilities or powers. And so they get recruited by the FBI to help solve cold cases and unsolved murders. I knew a good amount about this book before going in, and so maybe that's why, but it just kind of fell short for me. But I still really liked it, don't get me wrong. It was still really fun and entertaining. It is YA, so it's easy and fast to read. It's not like super heavy on like the literature. Like it doesn't take too much brain power. It's still super fun and easy to read, but I don't know, I guess it was just a little overhyped for me. I think I was expecting more of like supernatural powers going in, but it's just more of like high-end abilities. I don't know. With that being said, I am going to continue the series. It was still really good. And people say if you watch Criminal Minds, you will like this. I've never watched it, but I get the vibes. I really gotta stop being on camera looking crazy, honestly. Currently right now, I am reading The Hunger Games. I'm on book 2 right now, and I'm doing a vlog where I'm reading and watching the movies. And we're gonna chit chat about all the Hunger Games because I never read the books before. So if you guys are interested in that, that'll probably come like, I was gonna say next week, but I mean, I got a few books to read, so we'll see. I don't know when that'll come out. Give me some time. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, leave me a like. Thank you guys so much for watching to this point. I'm going to go finish up my reading, and I'll see you guys in the next one.